Hello everyone, this is In-Game Arts. We're doing another unboxing of the breakdown of the demo. This is the Inside Limbo pack. This comes with both Inside and the Limbo game. They were originally just a DLC or indie develop digitally download games. To start off, these are both games that can be available on disc. Both of them have 2 updates, but they were on the disc as well. There were no updates when I popped these games in there. And you can also decide which ones you want to install onto your console by individually selecting the one. So if you do not want to install Inside, you don't have to, or Limbo, and that for that matter as well. I thought this was really cool how this disc had this function, and it made me question many things. Why don't we have these more functions in other games? Maybe games with like has more than one disc. Let's say DLC wise, you can just have a separate disc and you can just install the DLC from the second disc like that form. But that's beside the point. That's just an interesting feature I've yet to see be used in any PlayStation 4 game. So something you might want to consider when noticing that when some company's not doing something they could easily done. Moving on. As I said, this is Inside and Limbo. I've only actually got to play Limbo first back on the PlayStation 3 when it was a free download game. Or was that PlayStation 4? I actually can't remember. It's actually been so long. But Limbo was a very creative and interesting game that I fell in love with because it was just so different than the norm. It just... You don't see too many games where you play as a child as the main protagonist. And also such dark and... horrific experience where the kid can actually die, and both of them in very gruesome and dark ways, as you can see right there. So it's for someone who might not have the heart to see a child get killed or in certain positions of that kind of style, you might want to look away. But the game's atmosphere, design, and stories, even though there's not a single dialogue ever really exchanged in both games, they give you a great atmosphere, story-driven kind of concept that just draws you in. Now, I'll cover both games in the videos, you'll see, but I don't want to spoil anything. When it comes to Inside and Limbo, these are games that's actually kind of best played in one setting. When you start Limbo or Inside up, it's best just to finish it up right then and there. Just do it all in one go. You don't have to play them both at the same time immediately, but just if you play Limbo first or Inside first, try to immediately complete it in one go. It makes the experience much more worth it in that field. The only problem with Limbo and Inside is that there's little, replay value after you've beaten them. Now, there are some collectible things here and there, but the overall experience is going to be quickly done in one go. So that's why it's, like I said, it's kind of expensive, and it's kind of one of those... kind of one of those things you have to be really a big fan or someone who's just was able to get it at a good price. As you see, we'll jump to Inside because I don't want to give too many spoilers to these games. These are games that you really just got to sit down yourself and play. I'm just going to show you a little bit about the games. Now we can get an idea of it if you're yet to play them, which you should. They're really good and they're pretty much available on PC. They're on PlayStation Network to download. You can't really argue with it, but if you want a physical copy, that's why I think this is available for the physical collectors out there like us, or like me for that matter. It's a great collection, and I'm glad I bought it and everything. I loved Limbo. I just played Inside when I got this version because I never got to play Inside until now. And Inside was a great game, great atmosphere. The graphics are a massive improvement from the black and white. Although there was nothing wrong with the 2D not sprite, but 2D kind of design with the black and white. It had great lighting, great atmosphere. Well, you can tell the developer wanted to step it up with this 3D kind of polygon running off the Unity engine on Inside. And it's just the animation and the fluidness, the smoothness, and the characters, and the dark atmosphere was just spot on. It was just one of the best, smoothest indie experience you could ever play. And it's just, yes, it's not the most deepest and, like I said, reaches in gameplay, but in terms of small development and with basic functions, it shows how much you can get across by doing really nothing. I guess that's the best way to describe it without making it sound like I'm insulting the company. Because you gotta think, there's really no functions and features and stuff like that. You just basically walk in one direction and just try to solve the puzzles as you go. So, it's just one of those interesting games that it's more of an experience than an actual game. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with games that is about experience or the one-time go, because they give you a great feel all the way through. It's just a story, a concept, an idea that was brought to life. And I really, really love them both, Limbo and Inside. You can't argue with this collection. I do think it's a little expensive for the collection for those 2 games, and you can beat them pretty quickly in one go. and like I said, really little replay value. But I love the fact that it comes with all the DLC on the disc. There were no updates. I really like it when indie developers do this than some games like Stardew Valley or Rocket League, where they immediately release the physical release before it's done. Like Isaac Binding, the Binding of Isaac, it had all the DLC and updates. Wait till your indie game is done and then release a physical version. That way, we physical collectors can have the complete package in just one disc. We don't have to worry about, well, now we don't get the full experience. Hold off and wait till you make your physical release, like Inside and Limbo did here. Yes, they didn't have all the DLCs and all that thing, but hell, they included the updates, small one little updates that were still put on the disc for us. I applaud that, and I appreciate that in any game that does that for us, for physical collectors, and just people who just appreciate games that show that. I guess the best way I can describe it is game lasting, to show that we are trying to keep games alive and well in the future. But I'm getting a little sidetracked. You can't really argue with this. It's Inside and Limbo. If you haven't played them, do so. You got the physical version out there. You can't go wrong with it. So like always, I will leave links down in the description if you're interested in a copy. I can't argue with the collection. It's a great collection. I love it. I'm glad to have it on my shelf. So like always, thank you all for watching. Hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more videos from me. And I'll see you guys on my next episode. Bye-bye!